Welcome back to the weekly news roundup. These are recorded live Fridays 9 p.m. Eastern at Standard Time. Today we are doing business and smart. We also are now starting to cross-post videos over to Rumble in addition to BitChute and YouTube. So YouTube's usually first, and then I get around to getting them all onto Rumble and BitChute later on in the week. So you can have a look over in those two places for video content as well. I'm not doing exclusives specifically anywhere, so don't worry about that. We're not ditching YouTube anytime soon unless, they happen to boot us off or something, which it's 2021. They could. I don't know. But anyway, let's go ahead and dive on into business. We have a couple of updates and then a few new things coming on down. First and foremost, goodbye Flash. It says goodbye Farmville. That's not entirely true. But Flash, as of today, is officially a corpse. It is done. About stinking time. Now, I wonder what's going to happen with the Flash that I still have installed on that old Windows 7 computer that's floating around here. That's kind of interesting. Maybe I should build. I should start learning how to use Flash now. No, maybe not. Now they're saying goodbye to Farmville because the original version of Farmville, which was pure Flash based, that is of course officially dead now. But you can actually still play Farmville on your smart devices, so don't worry. They still have the game available as an app. But regardless, that's the case. Yet another phone company, after mocking Apple, is saying, hey, we can save millions of dollars ourselves too if we don't ship a charger. So Xiaomi's Mi 11 will not come with a charger after it mocked Apple. So if you're keeping notes, Apple did the brave thing and got rid of the charger from the box. Like, this is so ridiculously stupid because it's like, well, everyone has a charger. Yeah, but these things don't last forever. Sometimes you lose them. Like, they don't last long. So you may as well give somebody a new one. Then they have a backup. Of course, that would mean they don't have to buy a new one. Now, Samsung and Xiaomi's, they are over here mocking Apple. Samsung last week we announced is getting rid of their phone charger, and they quietly took down all their Facebook posts mocking Apple. Now, this is yet another one. Hey, we're also ditching the chargers. This is a bad trend, people. Guys, stop buying phones and tell them, I'm not buying your phone. It doesn't include a charger. Unless you can go to the store and say, I would like the free charger with my phone. Give them the option. And then, have the cell phone companies duke it out with Apple and Xiaomi and Samsung and go, okay, guys, our people are rebelling. They don't want to buy your phones without chargers. So you're going to give us a bunch of chargers. And when they ask for a charger, we're going to give it to them for free. That's what you do. If this is truly about, okay, we're going to save a little bit of money here on the shipping, then somebody's got to give these folks a charger. So yes, here it is. Once again, Apple, we're being courageous. Everyone else going, oh, that's so stupid. And then everyone else goes ahead and does this very same thing that Apple's doing. For the love, people, for the love. All right. On to Apple news, though. The new versions of Apple is spelling death for Hackintosh. So Hackintosh, of course, you would get together your PC components, put it all together, and you can hack your way around the Apple system and grab yourself a copy of the Mac OS and then install it on your PC. The problem is now with the new M1 chips, they're pretty much going to be writing Apple. Right now, you can still do the Hackintosh, but in about 2 years, you're going to be able to stop being able to do that. Unless somebody else finds a way to get around that. So this is actually seeing a lot of challenges. We're going to see some challenges with Linux. Now, I believe the Linux community is going to come down and figure out how to support this chip. I have a full confidence that's going to happen eventually. But Hackintoshes, probably not, because you can't get these chips. You can only get them in the new device, and this gives Apple yet another way to just, hey, let's just trash your computer for you and you really can't do anything else. And so that really is what they're doing here with, they're basically just killing the ability to do Hackintosh. Now with this one, this doesn't bother me, to be perfectly honest. It's like if you want to run Apple software, buy an Apple hardware. That's fine. I'm not upset about this one. It's just reporting what's going on. Now, we are actually looking at another copyright case. Apple loses this one. This is good. So there was a security startup, Corellium, I believe. So what Corellium did is they built a bare bones emulation of Apple devices, mostly Apple's mobile devices, so iPhones, iPads. And then they had this system into their computer that it didn't have the ability to run the full device. All it had is the core backbone to emulate the software that you could use for checking in privacy. And Apple tries to buy them, and when they're like, no, we're not for sale, then they sued them with the hopes of shutting them down. Well, the judge comes down and says, no, this is definitely fair use. The question is, they're saying they've stolen our copyright, they've hacked our systems, this is a Digital Millennium Copyright Act law, and the judge disagreed. Mostly they said they are non-discriminate about who they sell this software to. The fact of the matter is, the judge says, no, that's not the case. Corellium has a very stringent vetting process. They do not sell these products to everybody. It's a very, very specific group of people who actually receive the products. And so the courts came down and sided with Corellium, saying that, no, this is for research. It doesn't have the ability to run the whole system. And all they're doing is making iPhones more secure for everybody. So that's really what they're looking at doing. And so Apple, despite their best attempt to sue them into oblivion, the courts actually sided with this company. So sorry, Apple, you lost out on that one. On to my favorite web hosting company of all time. GoDaddy wins the Worst Company of the Year award. So apparently GoDaddy, the huge company that hosts a lot of websites and runs the domains for a lot of companies, apparently there's a bad phishing problem. If you want to catch yourself some fish, snag yourself a GoDaddy employee quite easily with some basic phishing. You don't need spear phishing. You just need to do something exciting. So GoDaddy's like, we want to prove our point here. So they literally sent out an email saying, we're going to give everybody a holiday bonus. Just go ahead and enter your employee details here. And they literally had a whole lot of their employees fill in this data, giving them basically all the access that they would need to do a social engineering hack on a GoDaddy employee. So they're like, we're not actually giving you a bonus. This is a phishing test and you failed it. So if this is comforting or not, I don't know. So the email, let's see, it's sent by happyholiday@godaddy.com, tucked underneath a glittering banner of a snowflake and stamped with the words GoDaddy Holiday Party, December 14th. Email to hundreds of GoDaddy employees promised some welcome financial relief during the otherwise stressful year. Though we cannot celebrate together during our annual holiday party, we want to show our appreciation and share a $650 one-time holiday bonus. The email read, to ensure you receive your one-time bonus in time for holidays, please select your location and fill in your details by Friday, December 18th. But 2 days later, the company sent another email. You're getting this email because you failed our recent phishing test. The company chief security officer wrote, you will need to retake the security awareness social engineering training. So here's a copy of the email. Here's what it says. Now, the thing is, though, is that if they sent this from their GoDaddy emails, now I don't know if they sent it from the same system or not from the same system. I honestly don't know. But nevertheless, it is kind of a slimy thing to do, to try and do that, to try to phish your own company employees. But at the same token, it does demonstrate how bad of a company GoDaddy is. Not only are they bad from a security perspective, they're bad from all these different perspectives. There's a lot of issues. There's a lot of problems, a lot of challenges here. And in all reality, this is not a company you should be doing a lot of business with. If your sites are here, guys, get them off of this site. This company, I have worked with them and gotten many of my clients off of it because they rip off anybody and everybody that they possibly can. So you got to watch out what you're doing with this company. And apparently they're very susceptible to social engineering hacks as well, which is quite frightening. All right, on to some worse news. We go from bad to worse. So here on Alternative 2, Telegram to incorporate advertising in large one-to-many channels and premium features. So their justification here is they want to make sure that the app is sustainable without having to sell it like WhatsApp did. And so they're starting to add some ads to this. Now, if these are just pure non-contextual, just, hey, here's some ads we're throwing into our system, okay, fine. But if there is any degree whatsoever of targeting ads, I would say Telegram needs to be dropped immediately by anybody who's conscious about their security and privacy. Despite you could possibly do something built into the engine to determine your interests or whatever else, this is starting to walk down a very dangerous path. Now, I'm not saying to drop Telegram right away. I'm saying this needs something that we have to watch closely. What else we have to watch closely, though, is Santa Claus. He's over here either hookah-ing or doing something else more strong than hookah. Okay, I don't know what's up with Santa over here, with his snowman over here, hanging out in apparently the Egyptian deserts with a hookah. But Santa Claus, this is very, very bad. Bad image that you are portraying to young children. On top of that, the reindeer over here, get these electronics out of the pool, reindeer. The only one with any seeming sense over here is this elf. But okay, whatever. Bottom line, watch out for Telegram, guys. Just keep an eye out for them. Also, watch out for Ticketmaster. They are paying a $10 million restitution for hacking a rival ticket seller. Of course, they agreed to this so that they are not prosecuted under the very stringent computer hacking laws. But it basically went like this. The rival ticket seller is CrowdSurge, and there was a employee that was fired from CrowdSurge that Ticketmaster hired and then utilized his knowledge. Now, in CrowdSurge's had a little problem here that they never cut off the employee login access for the ex-employee because he was actually at Ticketmaster demonstrations. He was actually logging into CrowdSurge with his old CrowdSurge company login credentials and showing the difference behind the scenes and why Ticketmaster was better. But of course, this was unauthorized access of a computer system, and that would be prosecutable under the computer hacking laws. And so apparently Ticketmaster got caught doing this, and CrowdSurge sued them back. And of course, Ticketmaster threw this employee under the bus and said, oh, we had no idea what was going on here. Yeah, I agree with you, Ticketmaster. I completely concur. But they said the judgment defers prosecution under the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. That would be interesting to see that. Guys, remember the Ticketmaster is the one that was floating the idea. I'm not sure they're actually doing it, completely confirmed yet, but they're the one that are floating the idea that you have to prove you've had a COVID vaccine in order to buy tickets to concerts. A little on the dystopian creepy side, so let's go ahead and not worry about doing that, if y'all know what I mean. All right, and on to our feature story of the day. We did report on stuff like this a while back. Maybe this channel is a little bit ahead of its time, but this is a new release in more details about purchasing Windows 10 cloud services. Now, this particular service we're looking at here is not to the end consumer. It's not necessarily focused for an individual user. It's mostly an enterprise service, by where you can get an enterprise service Windows in the cloud, and then you can just access this from any place where you can. So you can basically have your chief main computing system up in the cloud, and then you can utilize other means to access that in other ways. So they do have a medium, heavy, and the advanced tier, and I'm scratching my head over this one. The medium has 2 CPUs, 4 gigs of RAM, 96 gigs of storage. The heavier has 2 CPUs, 8 gigs of RAM, and 96 gigs of storage. The advanced tier has 3 CPUs, 8 gigs, and 40 gigs of storage. So you get an extra CPU, you get less than half of the storage and the same RAM. I'm not sure what's up with that, but okay. So the idea is that you have a workstation in the cloud. Now this is Windows 10X, but where I'm confused about this part here is Windows 10X as it ships is not going to have support for Win32 apps, but accordingly they're using this as a modular Win 10X that apparently does have the ability to stream Win32 apps. So I'm not sure exactly if this means that they do have 32 apps working, they're not shipping with the devices you can buy in the store, or if there's something else about this system. But the idea is that an enterprise can manage systems and store all of your Windows 10 on Microsoft servers in the cloud. So, hey guys, we're just giving it all to Microsoft now. So that's really exciting. And the other thing that's really exciting, of course, is web hosting and websites. So that's our affiliate for today. We're going to highlight A2 Hosting. This is where I'm hosting my client websites. I've been with them now for, I think, 2 or 3 years, I think. Very happy with the service that they have. We have everything from shared hosting, managed VPS, WordPress, reseller hosting, dedicated service. Guys, never buy managed WordPress. That's a bad deal. Do a shared hosting and manage your own WordPress because it's better that way. You can come on down over here, have a look at the shared hosting. Your first tier can be down as low as $249 per month. This is usually if you buy 2 or 3 years out at a time, and then you'll get that, and it's going to be like $10.99 a month afterwards if you're paying monthly, and then it kind of goes down from there on the pricing tiers. So they are an excellent company. You do actually call them and get support from your own country, which is excellent. So have a look at A2 Hosting, tlm.li/A2H to use my affiliate code and help support the channel. So next, let's have a look at some smart tech news. And our first smart tech article, the FBI warns of hackers taking over smart devices to do live stream swatting incidents. Well, that's interesting. So basically, what's going on is you're up there doing your little live stream, like here at Switch to Linux, we're doing a live stream, and what's going to stop the Gestapo right now from busting on in? Someone's doing that. But then what's happening is the hackers are utilizing cred stuffing and all sorts of other means, other vulnerabilities to take control of your IoT devices. So if you were to have some like Google Nest camera or something over there in the corner, and it's kind of watching in the corner in your office, they'll hack your device, live stream you doing your live stream, and then swat you and live stream your SWAT to their hacker group. Ingenious. But it is kind of causing a little bit of an issue, and this is why you don't want this kind of stuff going on. All right. So utilize the tried and tested method of harvesting email addresses and passwords from previous leaks and taking advantage of the people who reuse them. Nice. This is definitely a training video, not anything else, of course. But over here, we have the hacker will gain access to audio video capabilities inside of your IoT crap, which is why you shouldn't have IoT crap to begin with. And then they're going to go ahead and swat you and live stream your SWAT. Very nice. Very interesting. Well, this group is utilizing old smartphones to protect rainforests. So they're looking for people who are doing illegal harvesting, illegal lumbering inside of rainforests, and they're utilizing mesh networks of old discarded cell phones charged on solar panels to keep in communication with one another and utilize the microphones to detect changes in the fauna and flora in the surrounding areas. So basically, they'll erect these towers. There's a image of it down here. So here they'll erect these towers, or in this case, throw it on the top of a tree limb here. So this guy's getting a lot of solar power. It's feeding this mesh network of cell phones that's actually listening. Basically, it's running an audio, and then it's utilizing AI to listen to the usual sounds of the rainforest. And then if somebody shows up near a rainforest, of course, or any forest, you'll start hearing different signals from the different animals. You'll start hearing different noises. And it's going to detect these different noises and send a signal back to home base to say, hey, let's go ahead and send somebody out here right away to see what's going on, what is changing it. So definitely an interesting little rainforest guardian project. Certainly weird and interesting. Even weirder than Elon Musk right here, apparently. So definitely a cool little way to use discarded smartphones. And on to our last one. This AI basically says 1/3 of the California bar exam test takers were cheating. This is a big problem with these AI monitoring systems, or even the proctoring services we've talked about in the past, how bad these systems actually are. So with these proctoring services and these proctoring systems and these AI ones particularly, if you don't have the best state-of-the-art cameras and the best state-of-the-art internet and the best state-of-the-art computers, you're going to have times when the camera lags out and whatever else. It can't see you well. There's a lag in hearing. There's a lag in seeing. And so what was happening is the system flagged over a third of the students in California taking the bar exam, and it sent them a statement just about as useful as a statement you got if you've ever had a video pulled off of like YouTube or something, right? So it says here, quote, the state bar, let's see, not that one there. There was the exact quote somewhere. Okay, so far it has not been done. Despite the Chapter 6 notices being sent, it is unfair for students to be forced to respond to potential sanctions before they're given adequate information about the behavior for which they were sanctioned. So Chapter 6 violation just had to say, where is that at? Okay, so here they are. So many only learned about the flag after receiving an official Chapter 6 notice from the bar, which is sent when an applicant is observed supposedly violating exam conduct rules or seen or heard prohibited items like a cell phone during the exam. In a depressingly ironic introduction to the legal system, the bar has requested that students respond to notices within 10 days, but it would appear that none of them have been given enough information to do so, as Chapter 6 notices contain only short summary of the violation. These summaries are decidedly vague. Quote, facial view of your eyes was not within view of the camera for a prolonged period of time. No audible sound was detected, leaving the view of the webcam outside of scheduled breaks during the remote proctored exam. Examinees do not currently have access to the flagged videos themselves and are not expected to receive any access to them. So in other words, they're like, hey, you have to prove that you weren't doing that. Like, what do? Like, you set up a DSLR, I guess, like I have here, record that thing, perpetually recording, and be like, well, this is the video feed I have on my camera. Let's see how yours mines out. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't have reciprocal gigabit internet on the latest release computer with the best web camera on the market. Therefore, a little bit of thing, because these types of things can happen if there's a slight computer lag. What if I'm like, oh, what's the answer to this? And I do this, it will not detect my eyes, and it'll be like, you're cheating. Your eyes can't be detected. That's how bad this is. And it's just like, you get a copyright violation, right? Like, you've this or this or this or this or this. It's like, yeah, this video has none of those resources, but it has this or this or that. It's kind of like the best example I have is, why did my recent Cody video get age gated? Like, this is only suitable for 18 or over. Why? And then, of course, they age gated my installing Debian twice in a week. They age gated it. I appealed it. They unage gated it. And then they age gated it again. The same video. It's like, why? Well, you need to look through the terms of service. I have. Kind of the same exact stuff's going on over here with these exams. So this is a big deal that with all of this online technology, we're not there yet, guys. If you're taking a course, you got to tell them, I'm sorry, I can't utilize your online test taking crap. I'm going to go and have X, Y, or Z legal person proctor my exam for me. Thank you. But we're getting into this world where you can't stop and say no. Sure, you may not have to participate with all of these factors, but you kind of do have to participate with all of these factors. Because you either have to do what we say, or I'm sorry, you can't go and follow your lifelong dream of being a lawyer. Very interesting. Well, if you'd like to help support Switch to Linux, we do have a Subscribe Star page. Head on over to subscribestar.com/switchedtolinux. You can jump in over here, help support the channel. We also do have Patreon, patreon.com/TOMM. So with that, thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching this video from Switched to Linux. This channel would not be possible without the backing of the program supporters scrolling on the screen now. You can be a supporter at Patreon at patreon.com/TOMM or at thinklifemedia.com. I also want to thank the open source community who creates such excellent software that makes producing this show possible. Please remember to support your software communities. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.